right, hello everybody. We got the row by row show on the road this week. We're out here at our demonstration garden at the Sunbelt Expo. As always, I'm Travis.
And I'm Greg.
And different kind of show this week. We wanted to show you a little bit what we got going on out here. We would normally probably film this later in the week on Thursday when we do the show, but we got a little bad news coming through here.
Yes, sir. We have got a hurricane, not a tropical storm, but a hurricane headed directly toward us. Hurricane Michael's decided he wants to come in here and visit us before the expo. So this is the Tuesday before the start of the expo. So we're 7 days out from when the expo would start. And you can see we got the garden looking pretty good. I mean, I'm kind of proud of the way it turned out. It's looking pretty good for this time of the year. However, we don't know what the future holds the next day or two for us. Hurricane's rolling in here tomorrow, and we're just going to hold our breath and hope for the best. That's all we can do. We prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's kind of where we're at right now. We got several things going on here. I mean, our okra looks good. We did some cover crops demonstrations here where we could lay them out and side by side where we could talk about them. Who knows if they're a survivor or not.
Yeah, so hurricane's supposed to be a Cat 3 when it makes landfall, and we ain't but a few hours from the coast, so we're gonna get the brunt of it coming right through here. I am not 100% sure when this is gonna air. This is the Tuesday before the expo. It might not air this week. We might have some power outages, and then with the expo going on, it might not air till after the expo, but we at least wanted to give you guys a look at what it looks like before it gets destroyed by a hurricane.
Yeah, they talking about maybe wind gusts to 75 to 100 mile an hour. So if we get that, we're pretty sure we can wipe our garden gone. But we did want to get some shots of it, show y'all what could have happened if the weather would have cooperated with us. So we got, one of the things we did this year is we planted some red burgundy okra, which you will love. We planted over here, we planted sorghum sudan grass, a kind of a bigger area of it. And our focus was going to be really on cover crops and some of the beneficial uses of cover crop, and also some newer varieties that we hadn't tried before, like tiger collards.
That's right. So the top bunch collards really not out there anymore because they had a crop failure. And I apologize if the wind is going here. We're doing the best we can, but we got the tiger collards, and those you can see right back there, those are looking good. Those are ready to pick. We'll probably start harvesting those throughout the expo.
Got a purple cauliflower.
Got a purple cauliflower called Graffiti, which is really nice, makes a nice head on it, really good flavor to it. We've got right here to the right of us, like you were mentioning, this kind of montage of cover crops. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cover crops here that come up real nicely. And that was our plan B on that spot. It's where we had our taters. If you've watched the previous shows.
By the way, how's your taters doing in your garden?
They didn't. My taters are going to be carrots, looks like.
Oh, okay. So I give up on mine quite a bit before you did yours, because you ragged me a little bit about it.
Well, I thought I was just crossing my fingers. I might have some bragging rights there, but I usually plant my carrots right after the expo, and that's what I'll be doing in that spot.
Lesson to be learned: do not store your potatoes in the refrigerator.
That's right.
Bad deal.
Bad deal. We'll know better next year. The corn at my house is probably be ready to harvest by this weekend, but it's going to get blown over, I'm sure.
Yeah. And we got ambrosia corn out here that's probably yay high, that's doing real good, nice and green.
It's about halfway there.
Yeah, I laid it by with some nitrogen today. Looks really good. It's going to be gone. I just hope our garden shed stands, to be honest with you. I mean, we're talking about 75, 100 mile an hour wind. I hope our garden shed stands the test of the winds. Besides that, it just ain't looking good. And you know, sometimes it happens. You can't do nothing about it. You can't worry about it. You just do the best you can and move on.
Yep, I see it. You want to take a little quick walk around and show everybody what we got going on, and we'll try to keep the camera running as long as the weather will allow us to. All right, so right here behind us here, we got a patch of cut flowers. Actually, 2 patches, one here and one a little further behind us there. And these are all zinnias right here. And this particular variety is called Queen Red Lime.
Yeah, we keep these dead-headed back. We planted them a little earlier than what we really should have, so we had to keep them dead-headed and prune back to bunch out to make the date for the expo. So we thought we did pretty good. Like, we turned them loose last week, let them all go to bloom, and we're just going deadhead as we needed to there.
Yeah, they're looking good right now. They might get blown over a little bit. These things are pretty hardy. Hopefully they'll make it through. These things should be popping really good next week by the expo. we don't get too much rain. And then way back behind us here, we've got our coxcomb planted, several rows of it, and that is what we call the varieties called the Chief Mix. And real good variety. They're starting to set blooms too.
The coxcomb, it can take a lot of dry weather, and I planted that in the wettest spot out here, which was a mistake, but it's done a-okay for that. But if you got a dry spot that you know you're gonna have and you want to plant some cut flowers, I'd highly recommend that coxcomb, because it will take some heat and it will take some dry weather. So this new variety of collards we're planting called Tiger, it's more of a smaller bunching type collard, and these really turned out well. We had a little bit of a worm problem, so I had to keep them sprayed with some BT, kept them pretty clean, kept them fertilized nice, and the leaves really turned out well. And you would take these things if you was going to sell them at market and bunch them small out right there. I like eating them small better than I do letting the leaves get bigger. They seem to be a little meller the smaller they are. The bigger you let them get, they got a little bit stronger flavor to them.
Yeah, and you can crop these things just like we do that kale and just pull off these bottom leaves here, and these things will keep growing stalks and grow throughout the winter. That right there is going to be some good eating right there. Come around expo time.
Yeah, we've also had some trouble with white flies. We had to stay on top of the white flies. I think the hurricane's probably going to give them a headache. But the white flies has given us a little bit of a hard time, and the worms, so that's really the only two pests I had to worry with. We kept it under check.
That's good, that's good. Let's move over there and check out this kale and this kohlrabi.
One of the crops that really did well for us this year was the purple kohlrabi. I mean, it grew up beautiful. You can see there the bulb on it right there. Of course, the bulb is edible, but also the leaves are edible. Now, if you're not growing this in your garden, you really need to give it a shot, because this turns out really good. It grows pretty quick. You make coleslaw of that. You can cook it several different ways. It's a beautiful plant. It's pretty easy to grow too. We got the purple cauliflower we call graffiti right here that's growing off well. You kind of tell it, but these inside leaves will be a little bit purple. So that's the way you tell it, but it makes a nice, vibrant purple cauliflower that's very unique. Now over here we got lacinato kale, which is absolutely my favorite. It's an old Italian heirloom. And these things here you can crop just like what Travis was talking about a while ago on the collards. You can crop these down. These are absolutely wonderful. They are great, and these turn out really good. So that's something else you really need to consider if you're thinking about growing kale.
And right here we got our red burgundy okra. We've already harvested this several times. We've been using our prune and whoop technique on here. Makes it a little easier getting here and to harvest it when we ain't got so many of them bottom leaves there. We can't see the okra hardly. So this stuff's starting to grow up tall. Really good stuff for pickling okra right here. One of our favorite varieties with this red burgundy.
We planted these cover crops in strips to give a comparison of each one. Now we planted buckwheat, we planted millet, we planted sun hemp, we planted Australian peas, we planted rye. And I planted these about 5 days ago, and the whole thing here is we try to explain how quick these things grow. They can outgrow your weed competition. So in 5 days, look what you got. It's pretty amazing. So the benefits of growing cover crop is off the charts. These things add organic matter to the soil. They help in a lot of different areas. Erosion control, the list just goes on and on and on. And they grow so quick. I did plant these a little thick, but that does give sort of a comparison of the different ones.
All right, so that's what we got going on in the garden here at the expo. Hopefully it's all here still next week. And if you're in the area, come by and see us. Hopefully everything will be dried out by then, and the show will go on.
16th, 17th, and 18th next week starts, and I believe the gates open at 8:30.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything else out here till the hurricane gets through.
Matter of fact, the expo, as of this afternoon at 7 o'clock till Thursday lunch, is closing down, not letting anybody in the gates.
Well, there's still several vendors that done set up tents and stuff out here, which
it's gonna be tough.
Gonna be tough.
And we'll see a tent that can sustain a 100-mile-an-hour wind. I may buy me one of them.
All right, so if we air this for the expo, definitely come and see us, and hopefully we'll have a chance to show you during the expo what it looks like after a Category 3 hurricane.
There you go, hurricane-proof garden.
All right, we'll see you guys after the hurricane.
Take care.